Hey Elmo, want to go out and play at the park with Jonathan and I? Oh wait, you don't look so good.
Yeah, what's wrong, Elmo?
My stomach hurts a lot and I have been going to the bathroom.
Oh no, that sounds really bad.
What happened?
It all started last Wednesday. I drank a big tall glass of water.
Oh, so the water made you sick.
Yeah. The doctor says I have a gastrointestinal infection that causes diarrhea.
That's a big word.
What does it mean?
I think it means I got germs in my stomach.
How did they get there?
So, the water must have had a lot of germs in there, even though it looked normal and didn't smell. When I drank it, the germs got into my stomach.
Wait, does that mean my water has germs too?
I'm not sure. How can we find out?
Oh, I know. Let me ask my good friend Abby Kadabi. She does tons of cool things with water at her job.
Sounds like a fun adventure. Let's pay her a visit right now.
All right. She just works right around the corner. Hey, Abby.
Hi there, Big Bird. I don't usually see you at my office. What brings you here?
Well, my friend Elmo got sick from drinking some water last Wednesday, and we wanted to learn more how that happened. I know you're just the right person to ask.
Aw, I'm glad you thought of me. And of course, I'm happy to help. What questions do y'all have?
Well, first off, what is your job exactly?
I actually am an analyst for the water you see around me. This is called a community-based water treatment system that helps make water clean and safe to drink.
Oh, wow. Can you show us how this works?
Yeah, let's start here. This is the storage tank where water from the nearby river is first piped in. We need to treat the water because it's not very clean.
I see a bunch of people throw trash in there sometimes, and it doesn't smell that good.
Unfortunately, there may be nearby factories that also pollute the water with chemicals after they make their product.
What a mean thing to do.
It is, but once it moves from the storage tanks, it goes through a series of filters to start making the water clean. Then the water goes through a UV purification system.
UV? Like the sun? I see that on the sticker of my sunglasses whenever I buy a new pair.
That's right, Jonathan. The sun emits UV, or ultraviolet rays. We don't want to look directly at the sun because those rays can hurt our eyes. But we can use the UV rays to our advantage since they hurt bacteria and viruses too. That way, our water won't have the germs that make us sick.
That sounds like a great idea.
We then can store the clean water to the other tank. This is a recontamination resistant tank. Super important so the water doesn't get dirty again.
And then we can get clean water from it?
Yeah, just fill up a container from the faucet.
But is this the only one in town? I live a bit farther down on Hygiene Hill.
No, actually, we installed a couple of these community-based water treatment systems in places that are near where the heart of the communities lie, such as health clinics and schools.
Ooh, I go to those places, so I can just stop by.
Wow, Abby. Does that mean you have to visit all these places every day to make sure they're running?
Oh no, that would take me forever. Thankfully, people in our community help make sure the machines are working properly and can fix it if they break. But we also have an expert from the Department of Health come in 4 times a year to do any big repairs or checkups. It is important that we have these employees check these locations because there could be some contamination along the way. And we want to make sure the water is as clean as it was in the treatment plant.
Wow, regular schmegular people can learn how to maintain these cool machines?
Yeah, and they've been doing a great job at it in most places. Some need a little work though, but the community also pays for the power needed to run them and for any repairs. And since the cost is split between a lot of people, it isn't really expensive at all. But people don't seem to be using them very much.
Aww, but it's a very smart idea. I wonder why it isn't more popular here.
Not too sure, but they do work well in the place that they are located at. so people in the schools and health clinics are using it often, just not so much the rest of the community.
Hey Elmo, was the water you drank from a community water treatment plant?
I don't think so. I was at my friend's house and just got water from the tap. The water tasted a bit weird. I think I should have boiled it.
Oh no, no wonder you don't feel so good.
Hey, why don't we go talk to some neighbors and see how they usually get their water and what they do to get their drinking water clean?
Sounds like a great plan. Let's go hit up my friend Cookie Monster.
Start?
Whoa, Cookie Monster. That's a lot of water bottles you have there.
Yeah, my parents started buying a ton of water bottles in bulk because they are cheap, easy, and it saves them from having to retrieve the water from the community systems, which takes time and is hard when you have a big family to bring back water for.
I wish my friend had had water bottles at his house because I wouldn't have this dang gastrointestinal infection.
That's sure a lot of plastic.
I didn't think about the environmental aspect of it. I just know that these water bottles are easy for my big family. And since water is an important part of each day, it saves us lots of time since we would have to walk far to that community pump that no one uses. I don't even see the importance of it since it is so far away and we can get water easily from the faucet or water bottles. What other easy options do I have?
Well, actually, we all just talked to my friend Abby, who works with community-based water systems, and they are actually really important. But unfortunately, they are not seen as very successful, and this is because of their inconvenience. Many people, like your parents, see community pumps as a burden and thus do not use them.
Yeah, community-based water systems can be a good addition to areas that suffer from gastrointestinal infections and other waterborne illnesses. However, like Big Bird just mentioned, they don't always solve these problems. Many people who continue to drink water from more convenient and less safe sources, like their faucets, continue to suffer from these problems and cause these systems to seem unsuccessful and unnecessary. That is why we need to not only promote the use of and importance of these systems, but also find an easier way for transporting the water to the residents.
All of this is super interesting, but how do we make sure that these systems are used properly and actually encourage higher levels of health?
Yeah, it seems like these systems can be really helpful in theory, but not in practice. How can we improve community-based water treatment facilities?
Those are really good questions. To start with, make sure that you ask all the questions you need to when the technology is installed. Do you understand how it works? Can you explain it to others? Next, make sure you use the technology properly and help maintain it. If it is installed and then ignored, it won't help improve health. Encourage your community as well to try to hold people responsible if they misuse the community source. Lack of improvement or no use is the problem that we are seeing in many rural Mexican towns. Diarrhea and water-related diseases have decreased even with the addition of community-based water treatment facilities. People are continuing to suffer from these waterborne diseases because they're still drinking the untreated, infected water instead of the community-based systems.
You're right, Abby, and that continues to be a major problem. By better educating community members when installing these technologies, we hope to allow a potentially beneficial technology to take hold instead of being misused. The future is dependent on you, though, and only you can make a difference.
We hope that we brought you back to your childhood with our puppet show, and we also hope that we taught you something about community-based water treatment facilities. For a moment, though, pretend you're not the college-educated student that you are. Pretend that instead you're a laborer in a rural Mexican city. Life has gone on for much the same way as it has for many years. However, suddenly you have NGOs and government officials coming in talking about community-based water treatment facilities. All the technical jargon is confusing, and your family and your community goes wary and untrusting of these officials. Suddenly, the technology is implemented but is disused or misused, and your health is not improved. A potentially viable resource has been wasted. Too often, this is the theme with water treatment facilities. Health isn't improved because the citizens aren't included or educated about water and sanitation technologies. Community members are overlooked and they aren't asked for their input or taught how to make these treatment facilities function properly. We hope that we can change this with something as simple as a puppet show. This might seem silly, but a puppet show can take really complex knowledge and make it accessible to all ages and education levels. Sock puppets like the ones we created can also be made in almost any instance. They can be created for a multitude of different settings, and it's a fun, whimsical method of teaching people about a potentially very viable technology. Although the puppet show can be enjoyed by all age groups, we are specifically addressing children. The youth is our future, and teaching the next generation is the only way that we'll have continued changes and improvements in water and sanitation technologies. So through our puppet show, we hope to have created both a better future for community-based water treatment facilities, as well as encouraged earlier involvement in our youth.